Right now, a nor'easter in the making. All of the ingredients are lining up for another coastal storm, just 1 week after Superstorm Sandy roared ashore. We're talking high winds, heavy rain, and even snow. For millions still in the dark and still picking up the pieces. We'll show you the impacts and the timing coming up. And weather and your vote, where stormy skies could impact voter turnout in some key battleground states. Live from the Weather Channel in Atlanta, this is Day Planner.
Good Tuesday to you, and thanks for joining us here on this extended edition of Day Planner. I'm Nick Walker, along with Vivian Brown. Well, voting is over in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire. The residents kept with tradition. They cast their votes, the first ones for president. It was just after midnight and below freezing when they went to their polling place. Well, here's a live look at Democracy Plaza at New York's Rockefeller Center. This is the nerve center for NBC's Election Day coverage. With more now on the Election Day forecast, let's send it over to Vivian.
I mean, the plaza really looks nice, doesn't it? Decked out in all the red, white, and blue, and quite a bit of sunshine that we do have today over the Northeast, albeit it is cold. We woke up to temperatures below freezing this morning in the New York City area and a good part of the Northeast. Here's a look at the last 24 hours worth of radar data. And yesterday at this time, we were following the area of low pressure over the southeast back here, remember, in Mississippi and Alabama. I was reporting this, telling you about the rain near the Jackson area. And we told you then that all of this will be moving east with the area of low pressure, kind of pushed off to the east by this next kicker system that would develop. This is the one that we're watching today as it moves across the Great Lakes area and parts of the upper Mississippi Valley. In fact, that very system is bringing snow right now with a colder air over the central parts of Wisconsin, some chilly rain moving through the Green Bay area, even Chicago. I know, got a lot of cousins, a lot of family members in the Chicago area. I know that you just grabbed your umbrella already and heading out to the polls, of course, to vote and cast your vote. I mean, don't let the weather stop you. I know you won't. Just some chilly rain. We can handle that. And speaking of the rain, we've seen that earlier this morning when I went to the polls in Atlanta. It was raining. All of that has come to an end. Good thing. But we are still fighting the rain in parts of North Carolina and a little bit of snow, actually, in the higher terrain of North Carolina. So it's these two systems that we're watching today that could perhaps impact the voter turnout because of the inclement conditions. But over the Northeast, again, it is dry. They have other issues, of course, from Sandy, and power outages still abound. Just as of 11 o'clock this morning, we had reports of over 900,000 people still without power in parts of the Northeast. Of course, New Hampshire being a key state, and we're looking at the overall conditions. Again, it is dry today over most of the Northeast, and it was cold this morning. Has warmed up a little bit anyway. Temperatures in the low 40s, but at least it is dry. Still dealing with the rain and snow over the Great Lakes and parts of the upper Mississippi Valley, but no weather-related problems for you here in the middle of the country, from Texas into the Dakotas, over the Southwest, but in the Pacific Northwest, well, a little bit of light rain we've had with temperatures on the chilly side, so bear that in mind. Nick?
All right, let's take a look at areas that have already been hard hit by Sandy, now going to be hit by a nor'easter. Washington, D.C., New York City, Boston. New York, you're under both a high wind watch and a coastal flood watch. Boston could see those windy conditions as well, gusting to 50 miles per hour by tomorrow afternoon. A high wind watch for you. Washington, D.C., probably not the kind of winds we're going to see farther toward the north, but it could be breezy, and rain perhaps mixing with snow tomorrow night. So let's track this system, show you what to anticipate here in the coming hours. As Vivian showed us, one system there off the Carolina shores, another one that is back into the Midwest with some snowfall. Together, they are going to be bringing gusty winds, mountain snow, some coastal flooding, and a lot of rain. Rain in particular along the coastal regions, and that will be tomorrow throughout the day, particularly late tomorrow and on into tomorrow night. That wet mountain snow will also continue to push eastward from the west, and you're going to see some of that even accumulating probably west of New York City, west of Boston, and up into the mountain areas too of Pennsylvania and on into Maine. New Jersey, you're going to see a bit of snowfall, maybe even some accumulating there, and maybe some blowing around in the wind that could limit your visibility. The biggest winds are going to be near the shoreline. Rain and gusty winds continue on into Thursday here from New Jersey northward. Dying down a bit from south to north. We'll still be dealing with that Thursday night here around the coast of Maine down toward Cape Cod, and we'll have that wet snowfall to deal with as well, particularly up high. Then the wind watches. They're already up from the Delmarva Peninsula through the New Jersey coastline into Long Island and out toward Cape Cod and even inland to Philadelphia, New York, and into Boston. The coastal flood alerts are out here for the New Jersey coastline down southward to Virginia and also along the Long Island area too, where we're going to see a water rise perhaps 2 to 4 feet. Water rises 1 to 3 feet will reach you here from Virginia Beach up toward Atlantic City, also from Newport to Cape Cod. Watch out there along Long Island for perhaps more coastal flooding there. All right, we'll talk more about this coming up at 50 past the hour on the Winter Weather Update. Right now, let's get you hour by hour.
All right, hour by hour. We'll start in the northeastern region because the next 24 hours will be very critical for you. Again, right now we're talking about a lot of sunshine in the area. Temperatures in the low 40s for the most part around the New York City area up to Boston and Hartford. But check it out. Deteriorating conditions as the low pressure moves up the coast here of the east. And we're talking about rain along the coastal areas. Those winds will be a factor as well. Water rises too. And even the snow now with that cold air that's already in place right now. So we talk about maybe some of the rain mixing in with snow as far south, if you will, and in the lower elevations of the suburbs of New York City and outside of Boston. Now, west of Boston in the Berkshires, we're talking about snow. Several inches are expected. So very critical the next 24 hours, but that's why we are here. We will be watching it for you even throughout the overnight hours to let you know as the conditions deteriorate for you in the northeast. But we want to give you a heads up right now, a nor'easter is in the making. We're watching this system. This is actually the kicker of the nor'easter as it pushes the system off the southeast coast. It'll be clearing for this region tomorrow. Nick?
Well, up next, weather and your votes. Our meteorologists are reporting from key battleground states with your forecasts.